Hello, people. It's your boss. I'm just sorry, out back again with another fan calling show. Manchester United 4, Real Sociedad nil. As always, want to hear from you, the fans. It's a fan calling show. Bring the energy, bring the positivity, bring the hype. As always, drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Very close to 1,000 subscribers. So hopefully we can in the near future help a brother out, drop a like, all that good stuff. As always, if you want to get involved, have your say, come on the stream. You don't have to show your face if you're not comfortable in doing so. That's completely fine. Usmaan Talks United on the Twitter handle. All you gotta do is follow the link which says call in, and you get yourself in the bottom of the queue. Anyways, without further ado, we're gonna get the all callers in. We've got two guests waiting in the queue at the moment. We've got one new face, maybe showing some love in the chat. I'm excited to see what he's got to say. Let's get him on. Hopefully I pronounce his name right. Michelle, welcome to the channel and foremost, brother, and also welcome to the stream. What you said, Manchester United 4. How are you feeling?
Hello, are you hear me? Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
yeah. So it was a brilliant game, I would say. But yeah, I think the first 10 minutes our defense was a little bit shaky. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
Eric Bay was struggling, and I think the difference was communication. There was communication gap, but slowly and gradually, I think we have made it very good. I think the first half was very good, barring the chances that Rashford, Greenwood has got. So I think it's a brilliant. I think the tactics was like something counter attack, and
Yeah.
it was a great game. I would say 4-0. But I think yeah, Ahmad could have come on earlier, like after 75 minutes, after 80 minutes. That's got I something like disappointed. But yeah, after 82 minutes, he showed some magic in the left side, though he's from right winger. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay. I hope in the second leg, Ahmad will play full 90 minutes. Let's see.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I was hoping he actually came on the 70th minute because I thought the game was done anyways at that point. Obviously, James scoring in the 90th minute, well, back then it was definitely done. But in terms of the performance itself, you kind of mentioned the defense at the start. You know, our defense has been pretty poor of late. What were your thoughts on minus the first 5 minutes when I don't know what was going on? When we had one chance, they had two chances. It seemed like an absolute shambles. But after that point, what were your thoughts on the defense? Isaac in particular is a very, difficult player to deal with, and do you think that's right up?
Yeah, I would say, look, Eric Bay has come after that, his usual injury stuff. He's back from that again. I think it was a long time, pretty. I think he needed time to settle on, and I think there was something, the chemistry, there was something gap, and I think then the team effort has made us the better in the defense. And Harry Maguire once again another brilliant match. Harry Maguire is so good. I mean, he played in the high line. He played left wing today, yet again today. I don't know if you noticed or not. He played left wing again today, and he tried so many
Yeah,
passes forward, but I think he didn't get. But he then passed it to Telles. So I think our defense was very good. And not to make another point is that Dean Henderson is very much commanding. He is very much commanding. He say to the players that okay, I'm here, and he came across, which is very missing from David De Gea,
yeah,
unfortunately.
absolutely.
Yeah, I
Yeah, no,
think
I
he.
know, I know, I noticed that a few times as well with Henderson in particular. Coming out and collecting the ball, just making it look very simple. Sadly, De Gea has not been doing. But you mentioned Maguire's been excellent. In terms of his form of late, for me personally, I don't think he's been brilliant. Today definitely better. Do you think he plays better alongside Bailly, or it's just got a comment that says Rashford man of the match? But I've been criticizing Rashford a lot, so it's like a running joke at the moment with everyone.
Okay,
But yeah, do you
I
think Bailly plays better with Maguire?
I think so. If look, Lindelof has some issues with aerial duels, but Lindelof has improved this season a little bit in aerial duels. But I think Maguire suits perfect with Bay rather than Victor Lindelof. And
Yeah.
if we buy CB, I think that would be much better for Harry Maguire, since he's the captain and Ole will start him, of course, in every possible match.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I hear that. Obviously, he's the captain. He does need to be playing, but yeah, look,
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, alongside Bailly, the good performance
Yeah,
will
I have
continue.
one question for you. Who was your man of the match today? Bruno Fernandes?
Yeah, mine was Bruno. Obviously, Jerry's was trying to
Yeah,
wind me up here.
but the
But yeah,
second, the second, I
I'd say
really,
Bruno Fernandez for me. I think it was
I
brilliant today.
really like the second goal. I mean, the DJ touch and Bruno just smashed it.
Yeah.
The, I like the second goal.
Yeah, yeah, no, his yeah, to that was beautiful. Obviously, Rashford playing to James. Bruno was a dummy. We've not seen enough of that really, have we? In terms of
Yeah,
that quality, nice dummy James. I don't know if he meant to pass it him, but it got there in the end. And
yeah,
like
yeah.
you said, brilliant finish by Bruno Fernandes. What were your thoughts on his performance? Because today I thought it was one of his better games in terms of his overall play. He was almost faultless.
Dan James.
Oh, Bruno, well, yeah, Dan James as well actually. Bruno and Dan James actually.
Yeah, I think Bruno, I think is one of his better matches in the recent times after that 9-0 against Southampton. I think he wasn't that good against West Brom apart from his that
Yeah, I agree.
astonishing goal. So yeah, I think Bruno played really well today, and undoubtedly he's one of the man of the match candidates. And one thing I must mention is that Dan James is the one of the perfect examples to have a very good squad player. I think whenever Dan James has started by Ole, he had made some great contributions, like the Leeds game, the Southampton game, and most probably I think he may start against Newcastle because I think
Yeah.
I saw Newcastle has started using 4-3-3 formation, so I think they're gonna attack in Sunday game, and I won't be surprised if 10 games start against them.
Okay, to be honest, with obviously Dan James is one of them. He has done well really when he played of late in terms of
Yeah,
goal contribution. Would you
yeah.
start him? I know you said that you won't be surprised, but we got that Newcastle game. A lot of people in chat are saying it's a W less enjoying. Obviously, we're kind of referring to the Newcastle game. Would you go for the similar team? Do you think the guys have done enough to stake their claim, or would you mix it up a bit?
I think against Newcastle, I will pick the same 4-2-3-1 formation. I think Bailey gonna start. Wan Bissaka, Eric Bailly, Harry Maguire, obviously Shaw, and David De Gea on the GK. And
Yeah.
made I think McTominay or VDB or Matic or VDB. I think VDB is injured. I think he had a slight knock,
I think,
but I
but
think
yeah, I think he's gonna miss it. I think.
he gonna make against Newcastle because there is no creativity in the mid apart from Bruno. If we start
Yeah.
Fred and McTominay again, so I think Van de Beek gonna start, and in the left side I would go for Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, and right wing might be Mata or Dan James, and strike gonna be Edinson Cavani for sure.
Okay, no, someone's just put in the chat. Usman, your beard is covering the mic sound. Sorry, obviously I don't know, can't get a haircut at the moment here in England, so it's a bit difficult. But yeah, in terms of what you said, I do hear what you're saying. Moving forward, it's interesting to see what happens with the midfield because McTominay went off today, injured as well. I would hope that not Bruno, so Van der Beek is fit, but I just don't think he's going to be fit. But in terms of today's man of the match, who have you gone for?
Bruno Fernandes, yeah, absolutely, no doubt.
Okay, no worries. No, to be honest, I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. But listen, I just want to say massive thank you for coming on for the first time, as we always do. Before you go, is there anyone you want to shout out, any social media, or anything you want to plug? You're more than welcome to do so.
I didn't understand what.
Is there anything you want to shout out? If you've got any social media, anything like that?
No, no, I think I follow you guys' channel. It's a very good, very productive. Just carry it on, and hopefully I will join again later.
Okay,
Inshallah.
no, thank you very much for your call. Inshallah, we have you on again. As always, you're more than welcome. Thank you very much for starting off the show. Fantastic. Catch you in a bit, brother. Okay, so I do apologize if my mic's messed. Look how long my beard is, man. Look, Ali, I'm catching up to you, bro. Obviously, it needs grooming, manscaped sort of, but yeah, if my mic is messing up again, just let me know and I'll just sort something else out. But anyways, we're going to get our next caller in. As always, make sure you drop a like. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. Show some love to our callers as well. They do a fantastic job coming on and having their say after the game. If you want to come on and have your say, it's free. You don't need to worry about any cost. Obviously, I don't know why there would be anyways, but goes still. Alhamdulillah, Ali, try to catch up to you. But yeah, so Usman Talks United on Twitter. go to the link on there, get yourself involved, man. As Mishra has just done their first time calling in from fantastic calling. Inshallah, he'll be calling in more regularly. But yeah, let's get next caller on it. My brother, aka Obi Was Kenobi, in the building. Was 4-0 slapping of Real Sociedad. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, brilliant result. I was. By the way, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah, I was confident going into the game as well. I thought that your typical Spanish teams are usually really good at keeping the ball and stuff. But it felt really easy for some strange reason. I don't know why, but we were just on it. I think we played really well as a team. It was a good team effort. First half it wasn't a bad watch, end-to-end football and all that, and we squandered a lot of chances. But the second half we were really good. We made light work of it. So yeah, happy.
Yeah, we got Ali said Big Was in the house. Yes,
Ali,
yes,
where are
Ali.
you, bro? Get on.
I know, Ali, get on, man. We need to get you and Ali on together. That's the dream team right there. I just think I proper love like small knit community, man. Like, but look, everyone's happy today. It's been difficult for us, as you know. It's our first win in 4 games, if I'm not wrong, since the 9-0. Which was a brilliant day, obviously. But in terms of what you said today, in terms of performance, I personally thought we were poor first half. I was massively disappointed on the watch along. Second half, we definitely stepped it up. But what was the major difference for you in terms of your second half, first half, etc.? What do you reckon?
I think just the passing was a lot quicker as well. We caught all the mistakes. Obviously, the first half, you could tell Bayer was rusty. I'm not going to say, you played really crap, but you could tell it was just the lack of games. And then once he grew into it, it was just straightforward. Passing quicker through the lines. Fred, I thought, had a really good game. I know you've been criticizing him for his passing, but he wasn't as bad today. He wasn't. He got an assist as well. And,
no, I thought he had a good game as well. Actually, that assist was brilliant, by the way.
Yeah, it was a really good pass. It was a good run from Rashford as well, and good finish. But I thought another player had a good game was Telles. I thought Telles was really good today. His passing, going down the flanks, and he was just involved. He looked lively as well, and he was just involved in most of our attacks as well. Defensively, a bit skeptical, but I don't think we had to. It wasn't much of a defensive kind of game for us. We were just on the front foot second half, especially, and it was really easy. It was just really easy to watch, and the ball of the top was just constantly there, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, at the end of the day, they played into our hands. They allowed us to counter-attack. They also played a ridiculously high line, which for me personally is suicide against a team like us, that are good in the break, especially like you mentioned Rashford with the running. Rashford's movement was good today in terms of his movement in behind. He wasn't offside from what I can recall. I might be incorrect there, but overall he held his line. But what were your thoughts on his performance in particular?
Proper Jekyll and Hyde kind of performance, isn't it? All the stats are going to cover up what actually he did wrong, especially in the first half. Those misses were proper non-acceptable. The first one the one that's in the first half really early on, where he went over the top, he bullied the defender. He did really well, got the ball, and that was a bit more trickier. But the second one that when was it Bruno squared it to him? Someone squared it to him. And it was a tap in. You have to finish those, man. There's no excuse.
Yeah, it was Bruno. He just looked.
He's almost like in his head, he's thinking he's going to go in. I just got to get on target. But you have to slightly place it as well. It wasn't just straight. He hit straight at the keeper. The keeper made all right save, but he was straight at him. That's non-acceptable from a striker, especially when we're struggling to get like goals, and we have to be more clinical, and that's just not good enough if you want to be world class on that. It's not good enough.
Yeah, no, the homie Sam saying, they were going to play into hands, which is what he said on the podcast yesterday. If you haven't checked it out, yesterday's podcast was absolute fire, good vibes and all that good stuff. So make sure you show love to that podcast. But yeah, coming back to what you're saying, at the end of the day, this is what I was saying in the watch along, and I'm not gonna sit here and say he did something amazing because he's got a goal and an assist. And Jerry made a good point. He was influential in all 3 goals, and you've got to give credit to that. But you've just seen Mbappe score a hat-trick and Haaland do a madness. And, I'm not saying Rashford's on either of their levels, but if you want to be in that conversation, you've got to do something. And today, although he was influential in all three goals, I expect him to score one of them first two. He did eventually get his goal, which I must admit he did deserve it in the second half. I thought he was better in the second half. His overall play was better. But it's just like you said, that second chance, man, it's not acceptable. But this is what was said on the podcast yesterday, was, and I said it on the podcast, we don't create enough chances, Like Marcel missed maybe 1, 2 clear-cut chances in the game, and he doesn't get that third chance, which he'd score. And that's what happened to Rashford today. If he doesn't get that third chance and he doesn't score, everyone's talking about this, but he gets the chance, and thankfully he eventually takes it away. So I think that's just the issue with our players. We don't create enough chances, and they're not going to have 100% conversion rates, so they look worse than they actually are. But in terms of the overall play, you mentioned Fred. What was any other players, standout players for yourself?
Yeah, I thought Dan James proved a lot of people wrong as well. Obviously, we know that he lacks certain things, but if you play to his strengths, then you've got a really big asset there. Because obviously his pace is his main asset, isn't it? So getting in behind, especially with people like Bruno who can't pick that pass in behind, you're gonna love it, because especially if there's a slow or aging defense, or like they're playing a high line like they did today, you're laughing, innit? Because he can get behind, and plus also he works really hard for the team, tracking back. He just runs everywhere and he gives everything. I know, like a lot of people say he's just a squad player, which I think he is, but he still has an important role to play, and he played really well today. And I'm so happy for him that he got his goal as well. I'm just thinking of any other players. Bruno, obviously, he played really well as well.
Yeah.
Linking up
Well,
with play. He's just class.
we'll come on to Bruno, because I've got a feeling he's probably man of the match. So I'll ask you that, as always, ask you at the end. But I just want to get this in, because it's kind of alluding to what you're saying. The homie Sam saying James Pace can only work in games like this, and obviously spot on us, man. I appreciate that. But in terms of this, right, like for me personally, we've got to start playing to our players' strength. Again, like, against opposition like Real Sociedad, when they're going to play a high line, Dan James is a weapon, basically. You've got to utilize that. And that's something that Ollie's not doing enough of. Like, he subbed on Diaz with, like, 5 minutes to go, and, like, we had 20 minutes on the clock. I'm thinking, surely he's going to sub on Diaz. Surely he's going to take Mata off. Like, so he's going to take Bruno off of Mata. Why did Bruno play 86 minutes? Like things like that, he needs to utilize the squad. He doesn't use subs. Like players like Dan James is that. If you put them out of the cold and they come out random, they're not going to be fresh. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you've got to utilize them when they need, especially when you're 2-3-0 up. You're 2-0 up in a game. Dan James is a perfect sub. The games will be stretched. He's got loads of acres to run into, and we've barely seen that. So he's a squad player for me personally. But yeah, in terms of the man of the match, who you gone for?
Well, I mean, Bruno with his 2 goals, he played really, really nice. But I really enjoyed Telles today. I thought he had a really good game, so I'm going to give it to Alex Telles.
So yeah, fair enough.
That's
Different.
man of the match.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I can't knock that. All right, Ross, thank you very much for your call. As always, I'll see you in the comments very shortly. Right, okay, so we have gone through 2 callers. We got one more lined up for you, and there's nobody else. And we got the homie Benji. So if you all want to get on, have your say, very straightforward. Usmaan talks tonight. Hit the link. I'm just going to get a couple of comments in just before we get them in. We've got Rich me. How you doing, man? Hopefully you're well. He's not just paced 1 assist and would have had an extra goal, but for an offside in the build-up. Yeah, fair enough. No, Daniel's had a good game today, but I'm not saying he's just paced, but he only has a set, way of playing. He can only play in a certain way against a certain opposition. That's why you got to utilize him off the bench. Like I said, when you're 2-3-0 up, you can utilize him when the game's up. And we've not seen that from Ali. He's just completely disappeared after that Leeds game, and he's not been injured. So I'm not saying use him, but with 10 minutes on the clock, 15 minutes on the clock, when the other teams are coming for you, you can utilize his pace on the break. But yeah, Ahmed should have come on ages ago. This is a perfect game for James, and he played well today. Decision making better and quality better. Yeah, I completely agree. I thought his decision making was quite good today. Also defensively, he offers a lot more than most of our other players. So in that sense, he's always given us that, and he gives us natural width as well, which you've got to commend him for. But yeah, Ahmed definitely should come on. The United way, yes, boys, and obviously, as always, like and subscribe to the channel. Like please do so. It helps out a lot. But anyways, we're gonna get on the homie last but not least. Let's get on Benji. He's been a while. I'm joking. He's on the other day, but yes, hopefully he's there. He probably isn't. But Benji, can you hear me, bro?
Yeah. I can hear you. I'm just on my way home from work.
Oh, you're very quiet. Very quiet.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's really quiet. But yeah, go on.
Yeah,
What you
I'm
saying?
trying to
G4 0.
shout. I'm just on my way home from work.
Yeah, those early kickers are killing us, bro. Big up Daniel, man. Hopefully you do well, my brother. Yes, Ben, you go on. Chat to me. I can barely hear you, but I'll do my best.
Yeah, I'll try. Basically, the game was a good game, man. Honestly, like, can't complain. I just think that it was a professional performance. But obviously, like as Manchester United fans, we're more worried about Newcastle on the weekend because it's all about
Yeah,
having that consistency over the season. So we all just wanted to have a game where Maguire didn't get injured, Bruno, our main players didn't get injured, and we got the 3 points and then 3 points, and we got the result at the end of the day. I think a huge, massive shout out to Dean Henderson as well. Dean Henderson really, I feel like he really allows the back line to feel more comfortable because of his
absolutely.
presence in the team. Yeah, so I'm really happy to see Dean Henderson playing well as well.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Like in terms of what you said, I completely agree. It was definitely a professional performance in the second half. It was literally job done, isn't it? Basically, they got the second goal and they kicked on it. Obviously, you killed them off. The seventh blow. So that's what we want to see. But yeah, I hear that, man. The Newcastle game is the most important game. Even in this game, man, like shocking start to a game. I don't know. I know you rushing back from work. Some most random kickoff time, by the way. But I know you're rushing back from work, so you might have missed the first opening exchanges. But the first 5 to 10 minutes was just a whirlwind,
No, I
man.
saw it. I saw. I was watching it.
Oh,
I
did
was
you see
watching on
it?
my. Yeah, I was watching on my phone at the time. My iPad's even about to die, but I was watching on my phone, and I was thinking, boy, like this is so end to end. It was like a FIFA game, like when you play Little
Yeah,
Brothers at FIFA. It was
legitimate.
just so end to end. But it was good that we weathered the storm. We calmed it down. That's what always happens on European nights. It's about getting through the first 20 minutes away from home, and then going from there.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Especially against these, teams in Spain, in terms of the way they pass the ball, they do quite well. Well, Januzaj almost scored in the first 5 minutes. But in terms of our defense, I did ask the first guy, so I'm assuming you've seen that. Just to quickly get this on by Samson Hendo should be given a start now. But David De Gea will be back for Sunday. Just before we move on, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think Henderson did enough for you in this warrant a start against Newcastle?
Well, yeah, I wanted Dean Henderson to start for a very long time, beginning of the season.
Yeah.
It's well deserved. I just think the Ollie's downfall, a reason why he won't be as successful is not Ollie bashing through, but the reason why he won't be as successful because he has too many favourites and he doesn't like to ruffle feathers enough for me. The gear should have
Yeah.
been dropped a very, very long time ago. So, you know, let's hope Dean Henderson does. He won't start at Newcastle, but let's hope that next season he does come in and become a proper starter.
Yeah, no, I personally can't see him starting at Newcastle either. Obviously, I think the issue against Newcastle is going to be our midfield more than the goalkeeper. But the question I was going to ask you is, Bayer had that first 5 minutes, shaky 5 minutes, but after that, I thought he dealt with practically everything that came his way. Maguire alongside him, they looked better. I think Tyrone actually was saying on this podcast yesterday that something like when they've played together, they've only lost one game in 12.
Yeah.
They've won 10, drawn one, and obviously they lost to Spurs, the 6-1, of course. What are your thoughts with Maguire alongside Bayer? I know you're not a huge fan of any, let's be real in it, but do you think Maguire definitely plays better alongside him?
I think that's our best defense was probably the defense we saw yesterday. Obviously we got Wan-Bissaka at the back. He's our best right back. He's our only right back. You got the left back, Tellez. Obviously, he has a bit more creative stuff for me down the left than Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
And obviously, you got the two centre halves. And I think Eric Bailly has to start for me. And it's not even a joke. He has to start actually every game The reason why he doesn't start every game because he's always injured, and he gets injured because of those stupid things like the fly kicks that he was doing.
Yeah. You
But
see Trash got his overhead kick, yo.
yeah, like he's lost. But for me
Mhm.
personally, I think if Ollie wants to get consistent, he needs to start towards the end of the season, have a back line. If it's gonna be Lindelof, let it be Lindelof, but they have to play and they have to grow confidence together because this is the crucial part. This is when Sir Alex Ferguson used to have his best team week in, week out. The
Yeah.
top managers always have their best team week out towards the end of the season, so he needs to get that right from you.
Yeah, no, I hear that. This is the crunch time, and this is the business end of the season. And to be fair, this time last season, we went on that brilliant run, so hopefully we can continue that. But I hear that, man. Look, literally everyone in the chat saying Baye has to start. James is obviously playing caps. Everyone agrees with you, man. Baye must play if he's fit. I just don't understand why. He gets two man of the matches against Wolves. I can't remember the other two, probably Villa.
Yeah.
And then, or it might have been Fulham. I can't remember which games it was. But yeah, so he plays absolutely out of his skin. I know he gets injured, but there was a game after that. He's on the bench, then he gets injured, and he comes back from injury. He's fit. He's on the bench, and he's not even getting a look in. This is his first game back. It just baffles me. Like Ollie's team selection just really, really surprises me. But speaking of defense, what are your thoughts on the show and Tellez situation? Was has obviously given his man of the match to Tellez. What were your thoughts on Tellez's performance? Do you think he'd done enough, or do you think that's short spot?
It's short spot at the moment. I don't think he done enough. But at the same time, that's what Manchester United's all about. It's about healthy competition. I don't mind players playing, but we need to have competition. Because at the end of the day, I've been one of Luke Shaw's biggest critics, and rightfully so. Because if you look at the way he's playing this season, everything that I said he hasn't done, he's now finally adding to his game. So
Yeah.
Man United, look at Diallo coming in, the competition that we needed on the wings. Dan James had to step up because he knows that look, if you don't play well, whatever. Even Marshall when he came on, good hold up play. That's all Manchester United is about. It's been like that since I was born. So why change it now?
Yeah, no, competition is the only thing that's going to breed excellence within the team, man. Like Shaw is a perfect example of that. He stepped up to levels that even as a fan, you know how much I've defended him in the past, but even me I didn't think he still had this in him, to be honest, because you just not seen anything of it. So I'm not surprised that you stopped having faith in him. But in terms of Martial, we have this back and forth in the chat. I know it's bad from your perspective, but I'm like an overprotective dad or something. I'm so slagging Martial off. Oh, I'm not even gonna lie. You can say this about Martial and it triggers me, but I'm not gonna do that. I think everyone knows that anyway, to be fair. But look, we've got a question here from Was. But before we ask that question, what were your thoughts on his cameo today? Do you think you've seen something from him, or do you expect more from him?
No, at the end of the day, he has to obviously be better. And but obviously you can't be better if you're not playing week in, week out. And obviously he needs to play more matches. But my thing about Martial is that we all know he has the quality, but it's find him a position where he can play, whether it's on the left or whether it's up front. Find him a position, let him hone his thing and stop moving all around the place. But he just needs to be more consistent. That's all.
Yeah, no, consistency is a problem with every single player that we got at the moment. Obviously, again, another player, Rashford. I'm just going to ask you about the forwards, and obviously, you can rattle off whichever ones you want to talk about. But we spoke about Martial there. What about Rashford then for you? Because look, I missed two sitters that are going to come for your neck. I'm not even going to lie to you. Obviously, I was in the watch along because I couldn't text you because otherwise I would have. But missed two sitters, and they get that third chance. Finally, clinical, slots into bottom corner. What did you make of Rashford today? Like, do you think it was a bad performance from him, or do you want to see more of this from Rashford? Like, what are your thoughts on his overall?
Frustrating, man. And you know my thoughts on Rashford already. Very frustrating. Can be a
Yeah,
quality player. Yes, he just has to look at his age mates, the Sancho, the Mbappes, the all of these people. The only difference between them lot and him is they're more clinical than him. That's it. Like they're more devastating in the final third, and he's not. He gets the stats, but his stats can be through the roof. Like
yeah.
I'm not even joking. His stats could be electric, but he doesn't get them stats because he's just not consistent.
Well, to be fair, today I don't want to say stat padded because obviously that's a bit harsh, but because he did deserve his goal in the second half. But today he's got a goal and assist. You know, his goal contribution, I think he might be top 5 in Europe at the moment. Like, it's actually ridiculous how well he's in terms of statistically. But in terms of the overall game, what do you want to see from him moving forward?
From Rashford, more clinical, head up more,
Yeah,
stop trying to run like Cristiano Ronaldo
yeah.
into the straight line. But I think he's a good player, but he just needs to do a bit more for me.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. There was that one incident when he literally ran into 3 players and he could have laid it off to Fred, man. I was about to kill someone, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, as always, we always finish on the man of the match. We've not really mentioned one man in particular, but I'll allow you to decide who's your man of the match. Who you going for?
Probably it has to be Bruno Fernandes as usual.
Yeah,
Sometimes when you ask a man of the match, I know you know the answer, but you just have to answer just for argument's sake. But he's always the man of the match. So.
yeah. No, I think Bruno Fernandes was absolutely excellent today. But yeah, listen, Benji, thank you for coming on. I could barely hear you because I'm deaf as hell, but we got through it. Obviously, hopefully have you back on soon as well, my brother, man. I'll catch you in a bit.
No worries, man. Peace.
Yes, G. Yes, G. God bless. Right, that's the homie Benji. As always, you can check him out. Ben_Adeyemi. I don't pronounce his surname right. He's probably laughing. But yeah, show love to Benji, man. He's a staple of this channel, man. He's a founding father, shall we so to speak. But yeah, listen, we've got a few moments. I'm probably going to go through my sort of analysis of the game. Obviously, if you are listening to these things, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I think I know more than him. Well, come on, have your say. Completely, welcome. Everyone's welcome on the platform. That's literally what this channel is all about. And this video in particular, it's called a fan calling show for a reason. Usmaan Talks United. As you can see down below, go hit the link there. Have your say. If you haven't already, please drop a like on the video. It helps me out massively. And also subscribe to the channel. We got we got a homie Kojo in the building. Yes, fellas. I got the wrong comment. My fat fingers are pressing the wrong things. Like and subscribe at United Stand, United Waving. Bruno and tell us my standards. Okay, very interesting. Right, let me quickly give you my analysis and we'll wrap it unless somebody obviously rings in. But yeah, so first and foremost, Dean Henderson. I'm not going to go through all the individual players, but I'm going to start with Henderson because it has been mentioned quite a lot from yourselves or those who have called in. First and foremost, the most noticeable thing is just his ability to come and collect the ball, man. And it's such a standard thing for me personally as a football fan. In my head, growing up, seeing some of the best keepers play for Manchester United, and just in general, watching football, I never really considered commanding your box as that's an skill or that's something that should be massively admired. I just thought it's a no-brainer, not no-brainer, but it's a foregone conclusion. It's like it's the basics in my head. That's the basics of a goalkeeper. Commanding your box, come and collect the ball. But sadly, with David De Gea, it's been proven that it's not the basics. If anything, he seems to have not improved on it since day one. For some reason, he's a massive target from any set piece. And to be honest, Henderson massively helped us in that. Helped us in that area. Like I just seemed a lot calmer with Henderson in the net because anything within 6 yards of him, he's coming and catching it with complete confidence, throwing the ball out, no hassle, just not faffing about with it. Of course, De Gea is an overall better keeper. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of commanding the box, he's just streets ahead of De Gea. It's not even close. Like, I just feel more assured, and I'm sure the defenders appreciate a lot more, especially Lindelof in particular would definitely appreciate more. But for me, that's just a major thing with Henderson. He's way better than De Gea at that, and it's something that we're massively struggling with at the moment. The fact that we don't have a commanding goalkeeper is probably one of my number one top priorities if we are to go and replace David De Gea, if it's not to be Henderson to do so. Anyways, moving on to the centre-back roles. Listen, I'm not even going to dwell on this too much. Maguire and Bailly, it has to be simple as, or either or. Maguire, I don't really care, or Lindelof. Bailly has to start. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to dwell on this too much. Everyone in the chat agrees with this statement. It's not like revelation or a hot take or so to speak. It's just common sense. Bailly's our best defender when he's fit. Simple as that. Play him against Newcastle. Anytime he's fit, he should start. Simple. Moving on to Tellers. For me personally, I thought he had a good game. I know West gave him man of the match. Cole just said Tellers this and that. I thought Tellers was good. His passing was a lot better. I just wish he overlapped more. That's my one criticism of him. Don't get me wrong, he does do that, but he kind of likes the ball to be played back to him so he can whip it, which is fine. But I like my fullbacks to overlap, which is one of my criticisms of Wan-Bissaka and Shaw. And I just don't think he does that enough for me. So hopefully he starts doing that more because his delivery is actually really good. Again, as Benji and everybody has been saying, it's great to have him in the squad to push Shaw, and it's good to see him in it because he deserves to be playing. He's a good player, and I'm happy that he's getting his moment in the Europa League. So I think that's all right. I'll just keep playing him in the Europa League. Like every time we got a Europa League game, he should be starting over Shaw. Same for Henderson, like a cup player, so to speak. Because like as I said, you got to utilize these players, man. You've got to keep them in the loop because if you just put them out in the cold, when they come back, they're going to be rusty, man. That is the issue with Oli. He's not utilizing the squad properly. Yes, he's rotated players here and there, and people will say he has rotated, but in terms of the fringe players, they're not even getting any opportunities, even 10-minute cameos at the end of games that we've won. Like, do you know what I mean? Get them on the pitch, allow him to have a runabout, even if it's 15 minutes. Like Diallo, for example, why is he subbed him on so late? I just don't understand. Mata, why is he subbed him on so late? With 3-0, can't afford Bruno Fernandes to get injured, and Bruno's played 86 minutes. He takes Rashford off early. And again, that's fine. I was okay with that. Brought Martial, but Bruno is more important than Rashford. Let's be real with it. I know Rashford was influential in the goals, but we need to protect Bruno first over Rashford. So if you're taking Rashford off to rest him, you need to be taking Bruno off at the same time. It's as simple as that. 3-0 up. The game is at that point. 4-0 obviously, job done. But yeah, moving on to midfield, Fred, I thought he had a very good game today. You know, I've been very critical of him, especially on yesterday's podcast. As cheeky plug, if you haven't already, check it out. It's been, fantastic panel. But look, I was very critical of Fred on yesterday's podcast. His passes were pissing me off. Even this game in the first half, very sloppy on the ball. And he wasn't offering as much. But he was winning the ball back and doing what I expect from him in the team. Win the ball back quickly, pass it on. I'm not expecting him to do anything else. I'm not expecting to pull the string. That's not his role. So I'm not going to criticize him on that. However, when he's asked to do that by Oli, and he does it to the standard that he's doing, that's when I'm going to start criticizing him. If he's playing in DM and his role is to win the ball back and play it 5 yards, I'm okay with that. But if his role is to start dictating play and he's making those dodgy passes, then it's going to be an issue. But in saying that, fantastic pass for the States. That Rashford finally getting his goal. Brilliant ball by Fred. I'm going to say this now. Fantastic pass. Weighted pass. It's straight in it. It's straight in his pass as well. He doesn't have to break his stride. Slots it home. Job done. But yeah, as we speak of Rashford, very, as was rightly said, Jekyll and Hyde performance. First off, to me personally, it was absolutely scandalous. I know he got the assist, but he missed 2 saves. Decision making was absolutely shambolic as always. He was massively frustrating me, and the reason it frustrates me so much, and I say it time and time again, because I genuinely believe he's got the ability to be as good as Mbappe and these guys. He's nowhere near them at the moment, but in terms of his ceiling, he can easily do that if he just improves his decision making. But hopefully that will come in time. Gets an assist, influential, all 3 goals, as Jerry would say. Credit where it's due, stepped up second half, got his goal, well deserved. Didn't let his head drop, takes his chance very well in the third time the charm, third time lucky, so to speak. So yeah, fair play. But coming back to the goals, McTominay going off injured is a massive worry for me personally, because I'm not a fan of Fred and Matic. I just don't think that works. So hopefully it's nothing serious, because we do want him back for Newcastle. No Van der Beek and Pogba at the moment, so we're massively threadbare, so to speak, on the midfielders. But yeah, moving on to the man of the match, absolute no-brainer. Bruno Fernandes, a fantastic ball. 2 goals, but goals aside, this is overall performance brilliant today. Harley did it. Harley passed the ball away, and I'm talking about in terms of he was making forward passes and he wasn't losing the ball. So look, huge credit to him. He's probably a 9/10 out of 10 today. I thought he was absolutely fantastic in everything he did. His link-up play was second to none. He was very his flicks around the corner. There was that turn that he did with left his defender. That pass to McTominay inside, where McTominay made that third man run and he beats a couple of players and gets his shot away. Eventually, that ball from Bruno was brilliant. Makes it look a lot easier. We got a comment here from Yank talking smack. Hendo had a smashing game. Absolutely, my brother definitely did. But yeah, Bruno Fernandes, but performance for him. Stepped up again, you know, when it really matters. And that's all you can really ask for, man. Yeah, you gotta listen to United Way, drop a like and subscribe to Chat Up People. But yeah, moving on from that, talking front line, I've already mentioned Rashford. Dan James, as I already said earlier on, you gotta play him in moments. 20-minute cameos for him, squad player at best. But he's out game second half again, very good, offered a lot, stretches the play, defensively really sound. Look, you get what you sort of what I say on the team with Dan James. He's a world beater, but he does a job. Like for me personally, in the first half, I wasn't impressed with anybody really, apart from Bruno Fernandes in the final third. So I'm not going to individually criticize too much, although I've just done it around. But yeah, Dan James didn't offer much in the first half. He was non-existent in the game for me, to say it politely. And second half, he stepped up alongside with other players. He got his goal in the end. Hard-working performance for him. Yeah, I played Greenwood. Quite quiet for me today. I don't know what people think about that, but I don't think he had any impact. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm not really that fussed about it. Martial, fair play, comes on, does a bit. But again, nothing special. But, you know, it is what it is. He had a small window of an opportunity to come on and make a difference, and he didn't really set the world alight, but he did what I'd expect from him, hold the ball up, and he was actually controlling the ball with a bit more confidence, actually. He came into a scenario with 3-0 up and we're cruising, so it's always going to help for his individual sort of performance. But yeah, he looked a bit more confident than I would expect, given his recent form. But yeah, that was nice to see. So yeah, overall, happiness, 4-0 win again away from home against a fairly decent Real Sociedad team. You know, we struggle against Spanish team and we've put them to the sword. Shadow, game, set, match. And that's all you can ask for, man. Look, the boys got the job done. Second leg, we can relax, but we can enjoy that watch along. Hopefully, he rotates the team, gives the fringe players an opportunity to get some goals. And yeah, we take them from there. As always, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back tomorrow with a Manchester United Newcastle preview. It's going to be an absolute banger with the panel we've got on. So stay tuned for that. But apart from that, it's been your boy Usmaan. Shout out to everyone who's called in. Shout out to everyone in the comments. Shout out to everyone who smashed the like on the video. I know YouTubers do this all, smash the like, all this stuff. But and I actually didn't realize how important it is for us in terms of our growth. You know, the only way other people can see this video is if you drop a like on the video. So make sure you do that because it helps your brother out. But anyways, apart from that, I'm back tomorrow with the Newcastle game. Check out yesterday's podcast. It was absolutely brilliant if you haven't already. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Apart from that, Manchester United 4-0 winners. Good show. Thank you, James. You absolute legend. Catch you tomorrow, my guy. I don't know what time the show is actually. 7 p.m. UK time. Newcastle v Man United. Like I said, brilliant panel on. Yeah, stay tuned for that. It's your boy.